so we're done with our first circuit, targeting friendship skills and intentionally teaching the friendship skills. So how do you feel like the first circuit went?
It went really well. There's a lot of good things that came from it. They're still working on that, so I think it was a good start.
What are some of the good things that came from it?
Just the way to, how to treat a friend, so that's really good. And how to get a friend's attention, that was really good. Because a couple kids didn't know how to do that.
Yeah. So have you seen a change in behavior with the class?
Yeah, I have. And then now with the friendship bucket, I think it's going to be even more of a change. So.
Yeah. Did the kids seem to be excited about the friendship bucket?
Yeah, excited to actually put the pom-poms in the bucket.
That's more of the fun part of it all. I know that you just started it yesterday, but you think it's going pretty well so far? Sweet. What was the biggest takeaway that you had throughout that first circuit?
What do you mean when you say takeaway?
Like the biggest learning experience or just aha moment?
Doing the first circuit, maybe it's just, for me, is the fact that, I didn't know that most of the kids didn't have those skills. So that was like, oh, whoa, I didn't know that. So, starting over, just to stop and think about it and starting over, okay, maybe we need to start from the beginning. So that was, really surprising for me that a lot of kids didn't know the proper way to get a friend's attention and how to have friendship skills.
Mm-hmm. You thought they were just behaving badly because they like to...
Not necessarily that, because even the ones that don't have behaviors didn't know the proper way, to get a friend's attention. So that was really surprising. So, yeah. So
it gave more meaning to kind of looking more into the behavior and why they might be doing that.
Yeah, and then it wasn't necessarily behavior too, we wanted to hit on behavior, but a lot of it was a lot of kids that didn't have behavior actually learned those skills too, so that was really good too. So it wasn't just for targeted for the ones with behavior, it was a whole class, like the whole class learned from it. So
that's exciting. And that's what the second tier of the pyramid is all about, because we skipped the foundational stuff because you guys had all of that, all the supportive relationships and environment and all that. So we just went straight to the second tier, which is targeting social and emotional skills for the whole class. And it's really going to help a few, but it's really going to help the class as a whole, which was what you were just talking about.
Okay, perfect.
That's exciting. What was it like changing your practices and doing something new?
I liked it. I like change. It wasn't like it was a big change. It just flowed into what we were doing. So that worked out really well. It wasn't like it was a huge change. It just flowed into what we were doing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's just a new skill to add.
Yeah. A new reminder for them. So they liked it.
Sweet. Do you feel like the whole circuit met all of your learning styles and how you learn best?
Yeah. It was really cool. It's really cool to learn something new.
Yeah. Did anything come up throughout the circuit that you feel like you need additional support with, or anything that you didn't really understand why we were doing it or what it meant?
No, not in the first circuit. Nope. It went really well. Yep.
Perfect. So what was helpful or unhelpful throughout the circuit?
I don't think there was anything that wasn't unhelpful. I think all the information was really helpful, really key.
And I know you liked doing the modeling and the behavior rehearsal and life coaching, all in a line.
Yeah, that was actually worked out really well because I was able to, see it done, practice it, and then give it to them. So that worked out really well. So putting it all together, that worked out really well just to do it like that, because I was able to remember certain things and how it was supposed to be done. So I like that.
Sweet. Yeah. We can do that this round again too. We'll space out this and the coaching on topic, but then I'm thinking that we can do those 3 circuits in one day again.
That was good. That worked out really well. I like that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. And just so that whenever I'm in here, I can participate in the friendship bucket too. So we see a friendship skill, we give them positive descriptive praise, telling them exactly why they're doing it, and then let the child put the pom-pom in?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Just wanted to clear that up. All right, so our second circuit is going to be on the same level, like I just said, as the first circuit, just the targeted social and emotional skills. So today we will just figure out what this next circuit is going to be all about.
Okay.
So we reviewed what that level of the pyramid is talking about. So it can be another friendship skill that we're teaching, and we can do it in the same way, like we already did the getting attention. We can move on to doing a similar circuit, but with one of these higher level skills. But we can do a lot more than just that. We can do something based around self-regulation and identifying emotions.
That would be good. I like that one.
The emotions.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like that one.
Cool. I know you used to have a feelings check-in. How do you do your feelings check-in?
Same way. They still, when they sign in, they still put their feelings up on the board.
Okay.
And like yesterday, I was able to ask them like why they were feeling that way. So.
Okay. All right. So we will do it around identifying and expressing emotion. So it can be that, or it can be like strategies for handling disappointment and anger. I just want to give you a couple options just so that you know
Okay.
what. But we can stick with this one too, because I feel like, just like with friendship skills, it's going to help over.
I like that one. Yeah.
Okay.
Especially emotions. Yeah.
Cool. So we can target these skills like by explicit instruction, which is how we did this, telling it to the class as a whole, and then teaching it to the class as a whole, and then starting to incorporate it into different routines throughout the day.
Okay.
We can set up specific opportunities for these kids to be practicing these skills and getting more familiar with all the emotion language. We can do it like building on your feelings chart, labeling your own emotions and the emotions of the children.
I like that one.
You like that?
Yeah.
Sweet. So now we'll come up with a measurable goal and an action plan of how we're going to meet that goal, just like we did last time.
Okay.
So our measurable goal last time was teaching the class how to appropriately get a friend's attention. So now we'll come up with what type of learning objective we want to do. So we can think about it for a second. Do you want to do it similar to kind of coming up with a lesson about it, and then these are just options, I'm just thinking out loud, but we can explicitly teach it, and then we can figure out different times of the day to incorporate it, like at circle time.
I like that, especially like the one that we did with the first circuit. They really took to that one.
Yeah.
So they really liked that one. Actually, having the pictures and showing them too, they really liked that one.
Sweet. So it fit their learning styles too,
Yeah.
you could tell.
Yeah.
Awesome. So visuals you just mentioned are pretty important to them. Okay, so let me just make sure that we're on the same page. We'll explicitly teach emotions and why it's important. And we can even go along with just this way, just the rationale of why we need to identify our emotions, describing the skill of expressing your emotions, like things that you can do, and then demonstrating the right way and the wrong way.
Yes, I like that.
Okay,
Yes.
and then we can just continue to build on that once we actually start teaching it.
Okay.
Because then, like, do you like the idea of doing it in circle?
I do.
Okay.
I do. I like the fact that I'm teaching them as a whole in circle, and then maybe incorporate it throughout the day, like whether it's free play or whatever. But I do like teaching them, you know, like the beginning of it and why we do this in circle.
Okay.
I do like that.
So the practice-based learning objective can be teaching the skill of identifying and expressing emotions appropriately. Does that sound right?
Yes.
And then once we start with that, we can always build on, like you were talking about, finding other ways to incorporate it
Okay.
into. I found a really cool, it's like a feelings bingo, and it's something that we could do in small group or as a choice at centers or anything like that, and just like we would say out loud what emotion it is, and we would make bingo cards, and
Okay.
they would find that face. I don't know. That's just something down the line that we can brainstorm of how we want to incorporate it into other routines. All right, what do you feel like your strengths associated with this are? You can think about it, because I know. Well, one that comes to mind for me is you've gotten the ways to teach it. You've just learned that, and that's a strength. And
I'm always pretty good about reminders.
Yeah.
Putting it into place too, so it's gonna be cool.
Reminders to the children?
Yes.
To put it,
Yeah. Always, reminding them and going over it.
Yeah. And you validate their emotions, and you talk about their emotions in class and walk them through it. I see that all the time. And then I'm going to finish writing this, but you can be thinking about areas for improvement associated with the objective of this.